I mean, this is pretty consequential. I mean, what am I going to do with all my hats? All right, all right, all right. Thanks for joining All Things Division Three Soccer with Simple Coach and Jackie. That there scuttling around is Jackie, and I am Simple Coach. So today, made a really consequential decision. It has long standing impact, right? Like I have a collection of hats. What do I do with them? Because I decided on who my new favorite team is, and that is Trine University. So I don't know how it started. I was looking around trying to learn, and I found Trine University, and I went to their schedule, and I was stunned by a couple lopsided scores, right? Like one was 9-0, one was 13-0, and Trine was on the losing end of that, and I was kind of like, wow, that's weird, right? Like you don't see. It's a good program. I mean, they made the NCAA's this year, and you don't see Division III schools going up against other Division III schools, of a caliber, and seeing this sort of goal differential. I'm like, what? It was like Notre Dame and Indiana. And I thought there was a Notre Dame college near Cleveland that's Division III, and Indiana has all those satellite campuses. I'm like, wow, that's bizarre. So I did some further poking, and lo and behold, Trine played against Indiana University and Notre Dame, two Division I schools. Indiana, 8-time national champion. I think it's 8. And and both teams are blue bloods of of Division I soccer. Like you can't deny. And to make it even more difficult, Trine traveled to Notre Dame, traveled to Indiana, which if I was playing would have given me goosebumps just because I'm playing on you know some classic Division I soccer fields, stadiums. So I was like, holy smokes, let me take a look, and I'm going to show a video here that you know that I found. That keep in mind this is um, this is this is Notre Dame's perspective, right? I mean, they scored on this one 13 goals, but there are some cool lessons to learn by watching them play, and I think especially for Division I, and the first one I would just say is just the quality and precision of what they do with the ball. So from a passing perspective to a shooting perspective, I mean that first goal is classic. And then I would also suggest to take a look at how they position themselves when they're on the attack. And these are just snippets, right? So it's really hard to tell. This is a chaos goal, but you see those anywhere. But um, you know, and I'm like I said, I'm being serious about this, and to trying alumni, soccer players, coaches. I'm a newfound respect for you guys, just because, um, the only way sometimes the only way teams get better is when they put themselves in positions where they are playing much better teams, and seeing what it's like to play, and experience being on the end of what it's like to be playing against a really good team. And so, when I was growing up, my first experience with soccer, I must have been like 8 years old, and I was a goalkeeper. So the American kid, so I was going in goal because of good hand-eye coordination. And probably about 2 or 3 years, we got thumped every game, 12, 13, 14, 15, nothing. And you know when it started to turn around is when we started to figure out the game and how to play. And we ended up tying at one point the best school in Barcelona. We tied them 1-1 at their place, and it was like winning the World Cup. And then from that point forward, things started to change, and we started to really uh, sorry about that. Started to um, really turn it around, and we ended up being the most dominant high school team in Barcelona for like the 3 or 4 years following that. At least while I was there. When I left, I lost track. But um, so and then again, it's about building something. I always say, especially college soccer, it should be about building to something, not rebuilding every year. And I'm sure most coaches would agree with that. And probably, I'd like to think most players agree with that. That you sign up to be part of a culture, to be part of a team, and you know, as I was doing further research, Jacobs came on the year after they were an O team, so they were 0-16-3, and uh, under his over the last 5 years, they've made the NCAA's, one conference, and they're playing top teams, right? And so, this year they lost to Otterbein, but Otterbein was on a roll, so that's no surprise. But to get to a point, you, you do have to you do have to go up against teams that are going to show you how to play. And it strikes me that Division One, again, you don't see it very often, but going up against Division One talent is is a is a is a way to do it. And so again, total seriousness, total newfound respect, and I wish I could have been on the field and even taken those number of goals, because I mean, I would remember that forever, right? Like, just, man, I played against Notre Dame, and this is, man, they are good. Or I played against Indiana. Holy smokes, I could see why they won the national championship 8 times. So, like I mentioned earlier, this is now a big dilemma. What do I do with my collection of hats? So, I guess I gotta start, and this, you know, I guess I gotta pick up some new hats, and not a fan of Nike hats, but this being one, I think, yeah. So I think I'm just gonna have to pick myself a hat and go Thunder.